Hi, I'm Lisa Curry, the Director of Health Promotion and Wellness. Think back to your Wildcat Welcome experience for a moment. Remember how you completed the alcohol education program online, plus attended an Essential NU? The reason for those programs is because when facing the start of college, student behaviors around alcohol and other drugs tend to change a great deal due to the stress of change, perceived freedom in a new environment, access to different substances, and because alcohol often serves as a social lubricant with new friends. Since you're facing a similar transition by going abroad, we wanted to be sure to address this issue again to help reduce the chance that alcohol or other drug use abroad will interfere with a safe, fun, and enriching experience. Let me acknowledge first that not all of you drink or use drugs, and of those of you who do, not all consume to excess. In fact, the surveys we conducted at NU recently, about 30% of NU students report that they choose not to drink in a given week for a variety of reasons, such as academics, health, and religious belief. Of those NU students who do drink, not everyone's upholding the animal house stereotype. 2/3 of NU students report that in a typical week, they only have 1 to 6 drinks total. And when it comes to using other drugs, almost 80% of you report not using any at all. Even if you choose not to use alcohol or other drugs, keep listening. You may take away something that could help a friend. So first, let's talk about the legal things. The legal drinking age varies around the world. It's important to know, especially if you'll be visiting several different countries. Most countries have a legal drinking age of 18, but in Germany and Spain, it's 16. In Nicaragua, it's 19. But in India, it varies from 18 to as high as 25, depending on what the state you're in. Depending on where you are, you may have more legal access to alcohol, but that doesn't mean it's acceptable to drink as much as you can. I'll get more into that in just a minute. As for drugs, there could be very harsh penalties for illegal drug consumption and possession, or it can just be much more regulated. In Amsterdam, for example, marijuana is legal to consume, but it is highly regulated, so be sure to follow the rules. Be aware that even some prescription drugs are illegal in other countries. Check into this if you hold any prescriptions. And remember, the U.S. Embassy or consulate can't be of help if you break the law. Plus, you'll experience the consequences from breaking NU program rules and possibly the host program as well. Okay, those are the legal things. The much more interesting stuff is really around the wide variation in cultural norms around alcohol and other drugs. If you engage people in conversation and are observant about it, you're likely going to find that cultural norms may dictate not just the quantity that is acceptable to consume, but even how it is consumed and how people behave under the influence. Wine may be served with meals, but not a large quantity. The drink is there to enhance the meal, not to get drunk. Or social relaxation around alcohol may be well tolerated in many cultures, but not extreme drunkenness. So learn about those differences. And if you're staying with a host family, their behaviors may be your best guide. It's better to err on the side of caution than to assume that coming home wasted will be accepted. Unfortunately, alcohol and drug use is one of the most significant predictors of harm students experience while abroad, so keeping your use in check can help reduce your risk for problems. Most consequences that students experience are minor, such as hangovers, but that doesn't mean it can't be more serious, such as losing your passport or being physically injured. Other people can be impacted as well, such as being offended, embarrassed, or physically hurt by your actions. It's critical to keep in mind that you're now representing Northwestern University and the U.S. while abroad. Your actions influence how others view you and others, such as the faculty and staff who worked hard to build the program, the future NU students in the program, and even other Americans. Decide what kind of impression you want to make. To keep your experience abroad memorable in a positive way, if you do choose to drink, make a plan to reduce the likelihood that you'll have problems. A list of tips is posted on the Blackboard site under Handouts. Check them out if you plan to drink while abroad. Lastly, if you're ever concerned about yourself or about a friend, share your concerns with your faculty advisor or with other program staff before it becomes a larger problem. It's always easier to deal with something when it's small than after it becomes a crisis. I hope you find this information to be useful. If you have questions or you wish to explore your own use of alcohol before leaving or after you've returned from abroad, you're invited to contact Health Promotion and Wellness to meet with one of our health educators.